Hello, gang. It's Myra again. Grab your Bible. James, we're going to finish up chapter 3 today. So James chapter 3, verse 14 through 18. Okay? So grab your Bible. Remember last week we were talking about the tongue. Been talking about it this whole chapter. James chapter 3, verse 14 says, "But if you have bitter envyings and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth." Okay, let's talk about this. What does bitter envyings mean? You know what the word bitter means. You know, it tastes terrible. Oh, bitter. It's bitter. Ooh, yuck, yuck. It's not sour, it's bitter. All right? Bitter envyings. I want what he has. Oh, what you gave me isn't as good as what you gave him. We are coveting, we are wanting what somebody else has. Envyings. So what happens? If we envy, we start fighting about it. And that's what he's talking about. He says, but if you have bitter envyings and strife is anger in your hearts. If you have bitter envyings and strife in your hearts, glory not. He says you can't give God glory if you're going to have those in your heart. And lie not against the truth. Okay, those two things are against the truth. This wisdom, the bitter envyings and the strife and the anger and the I'm upset all the time. This wisdom, he kind of is being sarcastic here. This wisdom, it's not really wisdom because we know wisdom comes from God. But this wisdom descendeth not from above. So where does it come from? Satan. And he tells us it is earthly, it is sensual, it is devilish. It comes from Satan. When we envy and we have anger in our hearts for somebody else or about something, it's from Satan. It's from Satan, and we need to remember that. He says, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. Boy, that sounds like the world right now. Where envying and strife is, where there are people that are arguing all the time and can't get along. He says the end result of that is confusion and every evil work. God is not the author of confusion. He does not want us to be confused. He doesn't want us to have evil work around us. He doesn't want us to be controlled by Satan. So he says, but the wisdom, verse 17, here it comes. Are you ready? But the wisdom that is from above, comes from God, is first pure. What does that word mean? We've talked about it before. It's pure, it's clean, it's right. It's first pure, then it's peaceable. Ooh, it's trying to get along with our sister and our brother or our parents. It's peaceable. It doesn't have anger and wrath and bitter strivings. It's peaceable. It's gentle. It's easy to be entreated. Come on over here and sit on my lap. That's what that means, to be entreated, to be invited in. It's easy to be entreated, full of mercy, not trying to get a pound of flesh, but being full of mercy and good fruits. Do you remember the fruits of the Spirit? Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, all of those things. Without partiality and without hypocrisy. Now I want to stop right here for that. There's two different kinds of wisdom. Remember, he's talking about that here. There's Satan wisdom, which comes from down below. Okay, it comes from Satan, and it causes strife and anger. And then there's God's wisdom, and it causes peace and mercy. And he says that this God's wisdom is without partiality. Do you know what that big word means? Not being partial. You know, I like that person more than that person. I'm gonna do everything I can for that person, but that person I'm not gonna. I'm partial to this person. It means I like that person more. And God doesn't do that. God says we are all the same. We are in his family, and there should be family love for everyone. He says without partiality and without hypocrisy. Okay? Hypocrisy is saying one thing and doing another. Now, he's just been talking about the tongue. And remember how out of one fountain can't have salty water and fresh water? That's what he's talking about with hypocrisy. We can't glorify God in one moment and in the next breath curse somebody. Okay? He says without partiality and without hypocrisy. That's God's wisdom. And that's how we can control our tongue, with his wisdom. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. So how do we control our tongue? We control it by getting God's wisdom and by using God's wisdom. How do we get God's wisdom? By reading his word, by remembering, oh, I shouldn't be saying things like that. God's not happy when I say things like that. He didn't create my tongue to say things like that. He created my tongue to give him glory. I wish I could say that I could control my tongue, but every single minute I have to think about what's going to come out of it. Am I going to be gossiping? Am I going to be complaining? Am I going to be making other people upset and angry by what I say? We need to make sure that we're pleasing God and using his wisdom, which is without partiality and without hypocrisy. The goal is to make peace with our tongue, not to make war, not to make enemies, but to give God the glory. Our goal is to make peace and give God the glory. Remember that today, okay? I love you. I hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.